Welcome to the Onyx Path news, and a rare pre-recorded Onyx Path news. Why? Well, because I've just been recording an awful lot of videos, and it seems a good time to do the same thing for the Onyx Path news, rather than switching to my webcam and microphone setup. So, here we are for the Onyx Path news, once again this Monday, and it has been a fantastic week for Onyx Path Publishing. Oh yes, not just because Steam Wars is entering its last 48 hours. That's 2 days remaining. If you haven't backed Trinity Continuum Steam Wars yet, check it out. We are now starting to roll through stretch goals. It's doing that old last 2 days of a crowdfunding campaign trick that it always does. The first few days, the last 2 days, Trinity Continuum Steam Wars is now barreling through stretch goals. Let's see how many we can hit, how many kaiju we can introduce to this game, whether we can start riding kaiju into battle. Wouldn't that be an interesting thing? Let's see what we can come up with for Trinity Continuum Steam Wars. As I say, there's only 2 days remaining, or thereabouts. Do click the link below and give it your support if you haven't already. This is a game that uses StoryPath Ultra, the very first Trinity Continuum game to use the StoryPath Ultra system. And so if you are a fan of Adventure, of Aeon, of Aberrant, of any of the other Trinity Continuum games, this is your opportunity to see how SPU functions, maybe even start retrofitting it into your games. It's a possibility for how you can use Steam Wars, even if you're not interested in the Steam Wars setting. And if you're not, you're wrong, because Trinity Continuum Steam Wars is a setting that has been written to an amazing standard. Larry Blameyer did the writing on the setting material for this. I provided some World Bible consultation, but Larry's work is absolutely superb. It is such an immersive world, such a fantastic setting to get your game into. Not only that, you are not confined to battlefield combat. While that is, of course, a central part of the game, where you start building your rig, customizing your rig, sending your rig into battle, and all of your characters occupy different places on the rig, different operating stations, and I've been playtesting it quite a lot recently, and one of the most fantastic things is when your operating stations essentially start to fail, the domino effect, the decision, do we bail out, do we abandon ship, or do we go into a suicide dive and crash into the opponents and try and help the rest of our battalion. All of that's exciting, but you've also got espionage, you've also got diplomacy, you've got drama, you've got adventure. This is a really fantastic game. It's something that I am incredibly happy with. Myself and Eddie Webb co-developed it, and there was a brilliant team of writers that we had on it, and we would love for you to check this game out while there is still the opportunity to fund stretch goals, to show your support. I know there is a lot going on in the world right now, and I know crowdfunding an RPG isn't necessarily at the forefront of your mind, but this is a game we spent a lot of time on. We are really happy with how it's turned out. The writing, the art, there is this undercurrent of enthusiasm. We keep getting positive feedback about it. Join that choir, let us know what you think of it, and please consider giving Trinity Continuum Steam Wars your support before that crowdfunding campaign ends in 2 days. But I mentioned that it isn't only because of Trinity Continuum Steam Wars that it's been a fantastic week. Last Wednesday, we released, and I am elated to say this, they came from the RPG Anthology. Yes, it is now out in PDF and print on demand via DriveThruRPG. And not only that, all of the Quip decks are also available in PDF and print on demand via DriveThruRPG or DriveThru Cards. You can order them all. You can order them all. They are all available there on DriveThru. Do pick them up. And if you are somehow, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know what the RPG Anthology contains, well, ignore the They Came From title for a sec. This is the RPG Anthology. It has 11... Damn it, I've got insufficient fingers. It has 11... I don't know what I was thinking there. Different games in it. 11 games in one book. You won't ever have to buy anything else by Onyx Path Publishing if you pick up They Came From the RPG Anthology. Do buy our other games. Because, let's test my memory here. This game includes westerns. And bear in mind, each of these has got at least 5 playable archetypes. Each archetype has got at least 5 tropes. There are fresh quips, fresh cinematics, fresh antagonists in every single one of these games. So you've got westerns, you've got noir, you've got period costume dramas, you've got Shakespearean theatre, you've got space opera, you have murder mystery, you've got post-apocalypse, you have got pirate adventure movies, you have got heist movies, comic book superheroes, and you've got fighting games / martial arts. That's 11, and I remembered all of them. Every single one of these has its own set of archetypes, its own set of quips, cinematics, and tropes, and here's the brilliant thing. You can transfer any of those archetypes, any of those tropes, any of those cinematics into any of the other games. So not only are these standalone games, they are also incredibly crossover compatible without any seams. Seamless, as you might say. And what's more, this stretches all the way back into the rest of the They Came From game lines. So you can use your archetypes from Beneath the Sea in They Came From the Interstellar Starship. You could use your archetypes from They Came From Beyond the Grave in They Came From the Mean Streets. You could use They Came From Classified's archetypes in They Came From Neath Capes and Cowls. There is so much crossover compatibility in They Came From. We've got well over 100 archetypes now, and each one of them has their own set of tropes. It is insane, the number of options you have available to you now. RPG Anthology is a fantastic piece of work. We are really pleased with it. Not just the writing, also the art. Those posters in this book are just stunning. I would love for you to check it out. And if you already own a copy, if you've already picked it up, if you backed on Kickstarter, 1, thank you very much. But 2, that means you can head on over to DriveThruRPG right now while I'm talking. Go to DriveThruRPG.com, type it into your web browser, head on over My Library. This will take you less than 10 seconds. And give it a rating. That's all you need to do. Give it a rating. We'd love to see reviews as well. But what's really going to help us right now to sell more copies of this brilliant RPG, this RPG anthology of 11 different games, is people leaving their ratings and reviews. And it will take you less than 10 seconds to leave a rating. It might take you 30 seconds to leave a review. But I will be so grateful if you do, because we are really happy with how this game has turned out. And I'd love for more people to check it. You know, there is more going on. There are sales over on IndiePressRevolution.com, which should never be slept on. 75% off Dark Eras 2, Dark Eras Screens, 50% off Pugmire and Legend Lore titles. There's a lot going on. So do head over to IPR, Indie Press Revolution. There is a lot of money that you can save on hard copies, traditionally printed copies of a lot of our products. So, with all that said, I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you for the Onyx Path news again next time.